Well, if you're looking at what I'm looking at, we're looking at a Vega, because that's exactly what we're back on. We're back on the Vega after putting it off for the last month and a half. And let me tell you something. This car was supposed to be a paint job. That's all it was supposed to be. It came over to my shop. We were supposed to paint it, get it out of here, down the road. And we have now went through 3 of these things, 3 Vegas, actually 2 restorations. Starting on a restoration, then ending up doing this one. And every time you turn around on these things, something goes wrong with them. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with this one. After I had it sandblasted, we went ahead and painted the bottom of the vehicle. But then we couldn't paint the engine compartment because what did we find? We found some hellacious rust going on over here. Typical situation on these Vegas. This is where they rust out. I don't care if you get one that's rust free, you're going to have some rust in this area because this is where the battery sits right here. When the batteries start leaking, it gets all over this frame rail. It rusts and rots it out, and pretty much down the road you go. So what we got is this mess right here. This is actually off the parts car. We went ahead and removed this core support from the parts car. We put it on the black car, which is right there. That's the black car, which was the first car that was dropped off at my shop and sat for like 5 years before we even did anything on it. But if you look right here, you can see that we started restoring this car and getting her done. I just removed the core support off of this car yesterday to use on that car in there. And it looks like I left a piece out here, which I need, which is this piece here. And I'll show you where that goes, but we need that. But if you look right here, you can see the same situation. This one was rusted and rotted out in the same area that the one in there is rusted and rotted out. So yeah, that's a common thing on these Vegas. And then of course, here's our parts car right here. This is the one we took the core support off of and all the pieces. And this was a Texas car. It wasn't rusted out. I'm starting to think maybe we should have went ahead and restored this thing. Because believe it or not, this was a complete car and had all the body parts on it. And it was a nice fucking car. Maybe that's the car we should have restored instead of going after this thing right here. This is a Nova, all right? This is a Nova. Now, I want everybody to pay attention here. I got to remove this chrome, and I got to drill the holes in the other car for it. And then if you come over here, you can see right here, there's some chrome that goes down here in this area, and this is where the vinyl top would go because the Novas had vinyl tops. Now, I think that there was chrome on this car here, and I hope I have it. But if you look right here, look what we got. It's the same thing. It's a camback Nova model. The owner specifically told me, I don't know how many times, about the molding on the bottom here. Hopefully the owner will have new molding, because this molding's not good, I can tell you that. But yeah, that's the situation we have on the 76 Nova restoration, or should I say Vega, or whatever. So we're back on it, and hopefully we're going to stay on it until I completely get this done. We have got to get this car out of here. This car has got to go. I've done extensive work on the one that I'm working on now, which is in the shop, and we have just got to stay on this thing and bust ass and get it done. I can't work on anything else. I got to get this done. This is my main objective, because we just got done with a 65 GTO. And if you look right there, there's the 65 GTO. I pretty much closed the shop down to do this job. This was an all-day job. And did I say all day? Hell, it took 3 days just to call us in and buff the son of a bitch. It's a lot more than an all-day job, but I'm going to have to go ahead and play 65 GTO on the 76 Nova and do the same thing I did this, and just basically close my shop down and work on that car only, because that's the only way the fucking thing's gonna get done and out of my fucking shop! So we got to get this rust out, and I got to use the plasma cutter, and I got to, looks like I'm going to have to take part of the core support off. I don't know. I'm hoping not, because let me tell you something about these core supports here. These core supports are very, very flimsy and what can we say, cheap. A matter of fact, when I had them sandblast this, I told them, do not sandblast the core support. This is where the hood actually goes into this thing. And I want to show you, look at this right here. You can see how flimsy this thing is and cheaply made when I move it around. So any disruption to this core support at all will probably fuck it up and really put a stinker on the situation and screw us around. So we have got to be really careful when we take these parts off here so we can put those parts on there. So when you look at cars like this, and parts cars aren't a dime a dozen, you have to really check it out and thoroughly investigate it, because let me tell you something, you screw up on this and we only got one core support, we only got one good core support that we can use, you got to really sit down and figure it out. I'm looking over in this corner here, and it looks like there's a little section right in here that if we look in this area right here, you can see that this piece actually overrides this piece, which this piece is part of this piece, and we're going to have to go out there and cut a little section off that piece to put on this piece, because if we don't, then we're going to be welding the new piece to rusted metal, and it just leads into one thing, leads into another. You can see I went ahead and I took the idler arm off of the frame rail there. I went ahead and removed that brace that was right here, and I also removed the bumper slash sway bar bracket on the left side. And we are now actually ready to go ahead and start taking this thing apart. So what I was thinking, I don't want to replace this whole core support. I don't want to, due to the fact that this thing is very flimsy. I want to show you again. You can see that. This is where our hood bolts, actually doesn't even bolt, it slides into this little mechanism right here on each side. And you can see over here, same deal. So the hood slides into that, and this thing's got to be pretty precise for that hood to line up on them fenders and actually latch right there. So, to the best of my knowledge, the real way to replace this is to section it in and hope it all goes together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutting wheel and I'm going to cut it right here at this line here. I already measured it 16 3/8, and then I'm going to cut it right here, which I already measured to 12 inches. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off, and then I'll take my plasma cutter and I will proceed to take the spot welds off of this core support area all the way around into the inner fender, and then we'll remove that piece, and then once we do that, we'll go ahead and start working on fitting this piece into the car. Did I mention this is the only piece we got? This is it. This is off the parts car. If we screw this up, guess what? We're screwed. There's nothing we can do. We've done our best, and we move down the road, and life's a bitch. repeat my process on the rest of this mess, and hopefully we're going to come back and we'll be fitting a new piece in there, or should I say used new piece, and everything's going to shimmy shammy its way into action, and we are going to get this thing down the road farther than it is now, hopefully. Well, here we are outside with the original Nomad, and we're going to need more off this car than we actually bargained for. This piece right here, which this doesn't even really look that good, I'm going to have to actually fabricate and make something out of this, add to it, but we're going to have to cut this bitch way up here, and then we're going to have to cut this son of a bitch off way back here, because on the other car it's just completely rotted out. So I guess without further ado, might as well get the cutting torch out and start cutting away.
I strolled in a cigar store once to buy a cigarette. It was after 2, the church bells they struck 3. I saw a young youth at the door with a look upon his face that said, "Give me a coupon if you please." "What is your name?" I said to him. He answered with a smile, "My dad is dead and that's why I am here." "I know you will believe me, sir, you wear an honest look." And then these words he whispered in my ear: "I'm saving up coupons for mother, saving green coupons for Ma. Since father did croak, we've all learned to smoke. We need all the coupons there are. So please think of mama and I, sir, each time that you buy a cigar. I'm saving green coupons for mother to purchase a tombstone for Pa." I bought a pack of cigarettes, I bought a stogie too. I placed the coupons in his trembling hand. And then I bought a pound of snuff and said I'd learn to chew and save him all the coupons I could land. I pressed the coupons on him and I turned to go for more, and promised him I'd smoke myself to death. Alas, my help came all too late. He sank upon the floor and sweetly murmured with his dying breath, "I'm saving up coupons for mother. Please bring those coupons to Ma. We've all learned to chew and smoke Bull Durham too, since Daddy fell under a car. Tell mother I died like a hero while smoking a Cremo cigar. I'm saving green coupons for mother to purchase a tombstone for Pa."
I'll tell you what, everybody ought to own a cutting torch, because when you're doing this kind of crap, you just can't live without it. Let's get back inside the shop and see what we can do now. Son of a bitch, there's a fire.
I'm saving green coupons for mother to purchase a tombstone for Pa.
Well, the situation has gotten a little bit worse on us. Remember that piece I cut off outside there, the part of the inner fender well? Well, it's unusable because the end of it here, and you're probably not even going to know what that is, but the end of it right here where the core support actually laps over it is rotted out and fucked up right here. Where did my pen go? Slipped out of my hand and I didn't even know it. So what I've done is I've taken a hammer and I basically flattened it out. Now you got to kind of visualize that this is bent over here and this is bent over here, and then this here would be bent this way. So what we got to do is we have got to make this piece. We got to make this piece because that's the only way we're going to be able to get this situation in gear, is to literally make this from scratch. We have run out of parts cars and pieces, and now it's time that we really have to use our noggin, you might say. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and hopefully trace this thing out where we can use it. A lot of it's missing down in this angle, so I'm going to take my pen and I will come straight across here like this, and then I'm going to come down here and over there, and you know, just kind of get the angle of what's going on. And I know this is the end of the lip because it's square, and then we're going to go ahead and bring the lip down here like that, because that's the section that's actually missing. And I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Maybe I ought to go ahead and cut it off there first, and then I'll leave that little section. So that's the piece that we're going to need. Now we're not going to throw this away yet. We can't throw this away yet because we're not even done with the car yet, so we might have to make another one. So we got to keep that piece and make sure that all this is going to fucking work. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and cut that right there. And like I said, I'm still thinking that this section here needs to come out because this is our lip that rolls up this way. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I mean, what the fuck, right? Let's go ahead and just cut it off. We got more steel here if that's not right. You know, they always say measure twice, cut once. In this situation, we might have to measure 87 times and cut 49. Maybe. And if you want to get involved in doing this type of work, this will be the best tool that you ever buy right here. All right, always invest in a good plasma cutter because you see what's going on. So, let's go ahead and put this down here for now. And then we're going to try to form this. Where's our old piece? There it is right there. So, I know this is the inside and this would be the outside just because I know. And I'm thinking that, where did my pen go? Did I lose it? Here it is right here. So if I kind of line this up, I can see where it was bent. And it was bent down in this area here, and then it looks like it was bent somewhere in this area. Alright, so before we do anything, we're going to go ahead and flip it over. And if you look right here from this point to this point, that end's got to come up. So we're going to flip it over here, and then we'll use our table on this end and try to get that to where it might work. So we don't have to get real technical about it. We're just going to do that right there. And then you can basically see what's going on here. And then this piece here kind of rolls that way, and this one rolls that way. So we'll just use it right here and kind of roll it around. Well, you know, I don't think it actually goes like that. It looks like it's at an angle. Maybe. Let's see here. So we'll kind of do it like this right here. And then that piece is going to go like that. And then, of course, over here, it's from here to here. And then we're going to fold that around. Kind of like that right there. Let's go over there and see what this does. And we're probably going to have to bend and tweak it a little bit more. I think that there might be a little bit of a tweak in the center there, but you know, we'll figure it out when we get over to the car. Alright, so here's our section, and I see that I bent this the wrong way. This is supposed to come toward me. Let me rebend that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I can see where this is lining up, and it looks like we're going to need to do a little bending right here. Let's go ahead and do that and see if we can get this thing fit in here. Alright, so with a little bit of persuasion, it looks like we got something going here. Now what I'll do is I will tech screw that on there, but before I put this piece on, this will probably be the last piece I put on due to the fact that I want to get everything in here, and then I'll slide that under the core support and tweak it up by hammering and dolling it or whatever I got to do to make this work. But I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be looking like right there. I think this lip here is too sharp. Let me go ahead and pound it down and get it where it bends out just a little more. Okay, so now when we lay it down on there, I move this down, and we'll probably have to tweak it a little bit more, but I think this is really going to cut the mustard here for what we need as far as using it. Now, I'm going to go overlap this piece. This piece is made to overlap. Okay, it's going to sit about right here, and then we're going to have to trim it, but I cut this specifically from the original piece, so I'm thinking that it's going to go in this area right here somewhere, because I know that this section right here is going to line up with that section, so I'm thinking that we're going to be way up here like that, and that should be how it's going to sit. Once again, I'll have to bend this down, but we're not going to do that. So that's basically what we're looking at here, is making parts for this throwaway car. Did I say throwaway car? Not me. I didn't say that. Once again, we are working on a 76 Chevy Vega. This car was not designed to be restored. It was a vehicle that was produced by the General Motors Corporation to strictly be a throwaway car. That's all this car was served for, is to drive it for 3 or 4 years, throw it away, and go buy another car. And that's the gimmick that you run into when the corporations decided to start screwing the little man. Screwing America is by producing vehicles like this that only lasted 3 or 4 years, except you're paying a lot of money for this car, and then they would they would strictly make it for a throwaway vehicle. Believe it or not, they designed this car to be a throwaway car. Period. That's it. I'm telling you the truth here. Believe my friend Pete. I don't fucking lie. I'm telling you. So we got this piece here, and then let's see what else we got in this jigsaw puzzle. Of course, we got the little bracket that we got to put back on there. But then we got this piece here. So that's 2 pieces. And then we got this piece here that's off our other parts car. So that makes 3 pieces. And then we have another piece, which is right here. And that's 4 pieces off 3 cars, off 2 cars. We got 4 pieces off of 2 cars and 1 that we made. And then, of course, we still have to get the core support section that we need to fit in here. So let me get to work. I'm going to get all this lined up, and I'm going to screw it all together and mount it all down and see where we end up with this fucking diabolical mess that we call a Chevy Vega. And just to let you know, the shit that we took off of it here, I want to show you that. Very, very rottable crap. This is junk. Pure junk. Here's another piece. Did I show you that? This is that other piece. Look at the inside of that thing. It's just rotted. Rotted. Oh, here we go. Here's the fender well piece. No, this is the fender well piece right here. Is this that piece I took off? Yeah, this is that piece I took off. It was actually like right here. This piece here is the one I took off. So let's go ahead and try to get that all. So if that's right there, okay, see, I do have to bend that down a little. But that's all right, because we're going to figure it out. And my friend Pete's going to make it all work. Like magic. What a bitch.
I'm saving up coupons for mother, saving green coupons for mom. Since mother did croak, we've all learned to smoke. We need all the coupons there are. So please think of mama and Isa each time that you buy a cigar. I'm saving green coupons for mother to purchase a tombstone for Pa.